and this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to Wheels of Fury. Hey, I'm out here, and Killer Kyle, and a different setup.
Yeah.
And welcome to another edition of Wheels of Fury. Now, I screwed up again this week. I thought we would do a look back at In Your House, Calgary Stampede 97, but SummerSlam's coming up, so we will be doing either best and worst SummerSlam matches. Now, we did best and worst WrestleMania matches, so I thought about this before. We didn't do Royal Rumble, but
I don't think we did Royal Rumble best and worst. I know we did WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure we did Survivor Series. We're doing SummerSlam now,
yeah.
but I don't ever remember us doing Royal Rumble best and worst matches.
No, we did do a look back at it, Royal Rumble, but
Yeah.
so anyways, yeah, so this is going to be pretty fun. I have exactly 5 best and 5 worst.
Yeah.
I'm not
We'll see how it goes.
sure. Right.
Is it just me, or in this setup, do I look like bigger than you? Like higher up? Taller?
I've never thought about that.
Because, like, usually you're on this side and
Right,
I'm on that side.
right.
And usually I'm like I come in on an angle so I can be seen. But I'm me on the end, like, yeah, just, like, I don't know.
I know I look a little bit slimmer. I don't know. It looks different, actually. We should try this more often.
It's like, you're here, I'm like here. It's a little different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, for my first pick of the best match, is a match that, when I watched it, it was very, very good. And not only this particular match was very good, I honestly believe the rivalry itself was very good. Both these guys had amazing matches against each other, and it just seemed to go very well. I believe it was SummerSlam 2003 or 2004. Anyways, Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yes, that was 2003.
Yeah, that was a very good match.
Oh, it was. It really
Foul!
showcased Ray's talent. And of course, this was apparently Kurt Angle's first SummerSlam.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. I think it was both.
I think it was both their first SummerSlam.
But the fact, got the luchador and Ray, and then Kurt Angle, the Olympic wrestler.
Yeah,
So it's very cool to see both their styles.
yeah,
An interesting thing about this particular one is I used to have cable,
yeah.
and I still have cable, but it was different.
Yeah.
I had to order the pay-per-views, so this was before WWE Network.
Yes.
So they have the channel, you click on the channel, they have the countdown.
Oh, yeah.
So when,
The pay-per-view is going to start.
no, it had the countdown to when it was going to cut completely off unless you paid for
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I saw like maybe 5 minutes of the match, which was like Kurt Angle just entering the ring, so it wasn't really a match per se, it was just the beginning
Yeah.
of it, but I think, yeah, Kurt Angle was an animal in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, so I mean, I really think it was awesome.
Yeah. And I think there was the match where Kurt comes out, he gets in the ring, Rey Mysterio's music hits, Kurt's looking for on the entranceway,
Right?
and he comes up from behind. They came through the crowd, and they comes up from behind, drop kicks Kurt Angle, and then they go into the match.
Yeah.
But Kurt Angle being able to work with a guy like Rey Mysterio and several other guys just went to show you how good of a utility wrestler Kurt Angle was. Now that's not to be belittling or berating or anything. Kurt's one of the best of all time. But what I'm saying is, Kurt was one of those guys where you could go up to him and go, "Hey Kurt, we want you to face Rey Mysterio tonight. Hey Kurt, we want you to have a match with Undertaker. Hey Kurt, we want you to have a match with Brock Lesnar. Hey Kurt, we want you to have a match with Eddie Guerrero. Hey Kurt, we want you to have a match against Randy Orton." And whoever else Kurt Angle faced throughout his career, it was such a good match because Angle was so good
Yeah.
at adapting
Yeah.
to
sure.
whoever it was he was in the ring with. Ray in the lucha style, Undertaker, Big Show, being how big they were. And whether they were athletic or whether they were big or whether they were somewhere in the middle or whatever, Kurt was just so good at being able to adapt his style to their style and just have an all-around great match.
Oh, so, for my first pick, we're gonna go 1992. Yes, I know, I talked about this SummerSlam to death, but it was easy for me to want to put Undertaker versus Kamala in there, but
Right.
I thought this match was pretty cool as well, and it's
Yeah.
obviously going to tell a better story.
Yes.
But the Hitman Hart versus the British Bulldog,
Bulldog,
Davey Boy
Chris
Smith
Smith.
for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. And of course, the fact that it was in England at Wembley Stadium
Yes.
in front of like 90,000 people, 92,000 people, whatever it was. Such a massive crowd, and having not only you got Brett and Davey Boy having a spectacular match in the ring, but you've got Diana,
Yeah.
Brett's sister, Davey Boy's wife,
Yeah.
watching her reactions and just the overall emotion involved, not really wanting to cheer for Brett and not really wanting to cheer for Davey Boy, just want to just stay neutral and not wanting to pick sides because one's her brother-in-law and one's her husband. So
Yeah.
those two had an amazing match together. They were able to get your attention the moment they locked up and keep your attention throughout the duration of the match, in the ring, out of the ring, things they did, moves they did, and the simple fact that you have the match end on a basic move, so to speak,
Yeah.
that's what sold it.
I don't know what kind of pen that was, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing Bulldog win the belt. I didn't know that. I was just getting into wrestling, and of course, fascination with dogs, going, "Oh, that British Bulldog." But I got Bret Hart, and I thought he was the heel in all of this, but actually, it was more or less a Family Feud type thing.
Kinda, yeah.
So, I mean, being the Intercontinental Champion and then having that, also having I can't remember the guy's name that came out with Bulldog.
Oh, Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis coming out and
Box, yeah.
he's carrying out the Union Jack.
Yeah.
you know, just amazing representing the country. So, I mean, this was a really good match, and it told the story. And you have the ending shot with Diana holding up both Bulldog and Hitman's arms. And, you know, that was very cool to see Davey Boy as the Intercontinental title.
Oh, yeah.
As the Intercontinental Champion, even though he would lose it in November.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. It's just unfortunate that out of all the titles he's had in the WWF, he didn't have the WWF title.
Yeah, I know.
But so, I mean, this was a good match.
Yeah.
All around.
And even, like, to have Brett and Davey hug each other afterwards, that made it cool as well. And I mean, like, you got two really standout performers like Davey and Brett, and, you know, Brett being the more athletic, high-flying, technical wrestler, and Davey being the ground-based, strong, aggressive, physical specimen he was. They meshed so well together. And, you know, it reminds me of this year when Heart Foundation got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Natalia said Anvil's favorite tag team to be in the ring with and have a match against was the Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Davey and Dynamite. And I said this before, when you got two guys that are opposite talents and opposite ends of the spectrum as far as their in-ring style come together, and both of them mesh really well together, and then go against a team that's similar to your style, it works so well. I mean, okay, Davey and Anvil were both the muscle of their team.
Yeah.
And Dynamite and Brett were both the technical, high-flying, ground-based wrestlers of their teams. Matches they had against each other were just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and both really good tag team champions as well. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
the Bulldogs, and of course, later on in the late 90s anyways, you got the New Heart Foundation.
Yes.
Davey Boy and Brett were basically on the same team.
Yeah, Davey Boy and Brett and Anvil and
Owen and
Owen.
Brian and shit, you know.
They threw Brian Pillman in there, even though he's not really, you know, Canadian.
Well,
he wasn't really a part of the whole family, but...
No, but he did wrestle on Stampede.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got, you know, two Canadians, two Americans, and a Brit. So, it's kind of...
Basically, yeah.
But... I was losing track. I mean, look, there was the thing. Brett definitely really proved that he was the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yeah.
But I think that Davey Boy definitely was the better man, obviously, so...
Yeah.
And it paved way for, you know... And I just realized this now. He was tag team champions with Dynamite Kid and Owen Hart.
Yes.
But, you know, it paved the way for the tag team championship and the European championship and the hardcore championship. And like I said, just a shame he couldn't get past the WWF championship.
I know. And even, like, you talk about Brett proving he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. He did do that very well. Davey definitely showed that he could hold his own against Brett.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like I said, just even though they have two very different styles, it just meshed so well together for a fantastic match.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the last match either.
Right.
So.
Yeah. My next pick, I literally just thought of it as we were talking here. Calling it maybe the best match might be a bit of a stretch, but still a very good match nonetheless. Still going SummerSlam 03. Yeah. Gotta talk about the main event of that night. Rock versus Brock.
Oh, that was 2002.
For 2002.
Yeah.
So going back a year, yes, Brock and Rock for the world title. That's interesting not to get confused. Brock, yeah.
Well, when you look at the Go Home show, because even then I knew psychology and the person that always gets the upper hand on the Go Home show is gonna fucking lose.
Yeah, more often than not.
Exactly. So in the ring, you've got The Rock, and he gets rammed by Lesnar, and he's getting his ass kicked by Lesnar. I believe the last shot of that night was Lesnar holding up the title.
I think so, yeah.
So I thought, alright, so Brock's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Well, didn't fucking turn out like that, and Brock was probably the second youngest WWE champion.
I believe so, because...
The Rock was the first.
Yeah. Rock won it at, 25, I think?
No. Oh, yeah, 25 years. Yeah.
25 years old. Brock was...
He was 25.
20... Yeah, 20, yeah. So they're both 25, and then Randy winning the world title at 24, so I mean...
Yeah.
Those three are, the youngest champions, pretty much.
Well, when you look at this match, it was Rock lost, but it was also his, time to, he was gonna go do movies.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, so, the Scorpion King and all that. So, I mean, that's kind of why he took off for a while.
Yeah. One thing I always found cool was Brock, anytime he came to the ring, walk down the ramp, get to the ring, and then just vertical leap from the floor to the ring apron. It's like, okay, a guy 295 pounds, built like a brick shithouse, and athletic like that?
Yeah.
And then having, it was, I think this match, the SummerSlam, yeah, he leaps up to the apron, and then he, catapults himself over the top rope into the ring. My God, that man's athletic. And then, thing that really made it that much more intriguing, and not only for the match, but just how much they put into the rivalry. You got Rock coming out, he's got the title, he's holding it up and he's saying to Brock, you want this title, you gotta beat me for this title, whatever. He sets it down at his feet on the entranceway, and then sprints to the ring, and gets to the ring, and the two of them are going at it.
Yeah.
It's wow, they really... Not only was it rivalry such a good one, and they built up to it so well before SummerSlam that year, just the emphasis of Rock being you want this title from me, you're gonna have to beat me for it and take it from me, and and then they go into the match, and it was a really, really good match.
Yeah, for sure.
And just Brock showing how dominant he was in the ring, and Rock trying to, fend off Lesnar and really putting in his shots really well, and Lesnar selling it pretty good, but then ultimately Brock selling Rock's moves, but at the end of it all, Brock ends up winning the title, and I still remember it. I can still picture it in my head. Brock gets handed the title, he gets his arm raised, he's looking at the title, and I don't know whether it was just adrenaline or being happy he won the title or whatever. He's hitting himself in the head with the title. It's okay, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he really sold that shit.
Oh, yeah.
happy, and you should be happy when you win.
Oh,
a
absolutely.
championship. But I mean, this is back when Lesnar not only was younger, but the guy was a fucking beast.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the shit that he did with Zach Gowen
Yeah.
and Rey Mysterio,
Hey.
it was like back then. Now, yeah, if you looked at Raw this past week, you know, there it is. It was kind of like, man, I didn't see the ending, but I heard it was pretty okay.
It was really good. I will say, the stuff that Lesnar did with Seth this past Monday on Raw was a lot better than fucking having Lesnar coming out dancing like an idiot with a damn Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, cocky prick.
I know. Well, this is my beatbox. No, it's not. It's a fucking briefcase.
Right.
Although, one thing I will say that was actually kind of funny watching Heyman rock out.
Oh yeah, that I gotta find that.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
funny. Anyway. Yeah, the one, like, Brock and Rock were very good competitors. Brock, of course, coming from the NCAA ranks and working his way up and eventually getting to WWE and, you know, being in WWE and being a champion and all this other stuff. And then, you know, Rock coming from the football background, playing for Miami, the Miami, Hurricanes, I believe it was. And then, you know, his family lineage is a mile long. High Chief Peter Maivia, Rocky Johnson, and then, you know, getting into WWE, and, you know, his first championship was the Intercontinental Championship, and he had this really funky hairstyle, and he had, his original look was, I think, trying to pay homage to his family lineage, and it kind of worked, but it didn't work, and then, you know, he changed his look. But wins the Intercontinental Championship, his first title, and then, you know, go on and later be a member of the Nation and go run with the Nation for a while, and then have a very good solo career, and, you know, tag titles and the WWE title, and I think he might have held the European title, maybe, and, you know, WrestleMania matches, and Royal Rumbles, and all this other stuff. Them two in the ring were just so very good together. Now, a lot of people may have a difference of opinion about Brock and Rock. You know, Rock left to go do movies, and Brock now isn't as good as he used to be, and all this other stuff, and, you know, everybody's, I'm sure, complaining till they're blue in the face about Lesnar being Universal Champion, and you never see the guy, and you only see the guy once in a while, and all this other stuff, but still, at this point in time, they were on top of their game, they were very, very good, and that particular match was absolutely amazing.
So, we're gonna go to 1994. We've got Bret Hart versus his brother Owen Hart in the steel cage match, and
Yeah.
I mean, this was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're Bret, no, like if you're brothers, you know, and you've been in the business for years, and you have your dad watch your matches, and you're young. You know, my brothers wrestled a lot too, in the basement or in the living room. I mean, my dad wasn't a wrestler, so it's like one of those things where it's interesting to see these two interact. And you have their match at WrestleMania, and I still think that it would have been nice to have Owen win the title and then have Bret retain it at SummerSlam. Or have Owen win the match at SummerSlam
Yeah.
just so he can lose it if they had another match, let's say best of 3
Yeah.
at Survivor Series.
Right.
But obviously that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this match definitely, I mean, you have the classic Brett leaving to go try to escape through the cage,
Mm.
and then Owen would catch him, and he would try to escape through the cage.
Yeah.
But obviously, that didn't work. You had Davey Boy in the audience, and you know, Anvil was ringside. No, he was in the audience as well. So they started wrestling, they're fighting, whatever, and that's when, you know, chaos, you know, after the match.
Yeah. And see, that's another one where that match in the cage was very well done. And even the build-up to the match in the cage, but even the build-up to their match at WrestleMania 10, you know, Brett getting his leg injured and Owen being frustrated, and like all you had to do was tag and kicking him in the leg, and you know, for a sibling rivalry, to put it bluntly,
Yeah.
it was very well done.
Oh,
and I mean,
yeah.
like Owen being like the youngest in the family, and
Yep.
Brett being one of the oldest, I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was one of the oldest.
And so it's kind of like,
He's in the middle.
yeah, okay, yeah, he was in the middle, but like, kind of the younger brother being jealous of the older brother, and the older brother being so successful, and the younger brother wanting the success of his older brother, but not quite getting to that standard, and everything else. It just went so well together. They really did a good job at that.
Yeah. You know, and I think that I always think if Owen were alive today, he would be. He would really fit into this era.
I think so.
Yeah, you know, Owen was one of those guys that was very much kid friendly.
Yes.
And I mean, he was, I don't know, a villain that you would see in a G-rated movie. I don't know how to describe it.
Like, he was a bad guy. He wasn't a bad guy to the sense of, like, he would talk shit about whatever city they were in.
Right.
Or, you know, berate the audience. Or anything like that. It was always... He was a heel in the aspect of... He kept it strictly about whoever he was facing at that point in time. Whether it been Brett or Davey Boy, well, maybe not Davey Boy, but like Brett or Shawn Michaels or whoever else. It was just about their match, their rivalry, and that was it.
Exactly.
You could say he kept it strictly professional,
Yeah.
more or less.
How about?
So you wanted it to be on your list, you left it off, but that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have to have it in the video as well. I can make it my pick. We can talk about Undertaker and Kamala.
Yes. For sure. Yeah, this was, again, we talked about Kamala last week,
Yes.
and just the guy who had a very creepy entrance, music, and was just
Yeah.
very stereotypical, wild, African voodoo guy, I guess. I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah.
you got him, you got Harvey Winkleman, and then Kimchi, Kimchi, Steve Lombardi in a mask,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool. So I mean,
Yeah.
you got the Undertaker, who's 3 years in the WWF business
Yes.
as the Undertaker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, this was a really good match.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've had many good matches. You know, I think.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, this will be the first one. But you look at Kamala finally getting up on the top rope,
Yeah.
and he does one headbutt, and then he gets up on the top rope again. And then I think he does another headbutt, and then he goes back up on the top rope, and that's when he's gonna go on the top rope, and then Undertaker just sits right up.
Oh yeah.
Freaks the shit out of Kamala.
Oh yeah, scary. Like, that's one thing that made it so intriguing. Just the fact of, like, you got this big, scary looking dude that beats up everybody and just dispatches them in like seconds or whatever, or minutes, being scared shitless of the Undertaker. That's like, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, this was awesome. I mean, they had a good match at Survivor Series, but
Yes.
this match, holy shit, I really enjoyed it. I keep saying, this SummerSlam was an amazing one,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam '92 all around was just fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the Macho Man Ultimate Warrior match wasn't as good, but no, this match was really good.
Mm-hmm. One thing I really distinctly remember about this match as well, like, the match itself was really, really good, but the entrance of the Undertaker, that was fantastic.
Oh, he always had some bitching entrances.
Oh yeah, probably, like, throughout the years, Undertaker's had some really cool entrances, whether it be a WrestleMania or another show, another pay-per-view or whatever, but that one, SummerSlam '92, and the one he had for
WrestleMania 9?
Yeah, WrestleMania 9. Those two were like two of the best.
Fucking right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was, again, at the time where it was, considered cartoonish.
Yeah.
So to have him come out and, carrying a coffin or fucking ride with a crow or raven or whatever the fuck it was.
I think it was a turkey vulture.
Oh, yeah.
Or a vulture of some kind. Yeah, just kind of like a him on like a horse-drawn carriage, standing there with the vulture, and then like SummerSlam '92, him on like the back of like a car, like a taxi or something,
Right.
a car of some kind. Something I just thought of too. Yeah, that entrance at SummerSlam '92, and then the entrance at WrestleMania 9. But another really, really cool entrance he had. Can't remember what pay-per-view it was or whatever, when he descended with like the bat wings.
Yes. Yeah.
That was cool.
For sure. And now we go on. Now we're gonna go back a year. We've got another Bret Hart match. Gee,
Yes.
I wonder who my favorite is. We got Bret Hitman Hart versus Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig in another Intercontinental Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Perfect being an Intercontinental Champion at the time.
Yeah.
And this goes to show you the constant professional that Kurt Hennig was.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy that had a severe back injury,
Mm-hmm.
and he chose to not only wrestle Bret Hart, but put over Bret Hart.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just the shit that happened, you would think that man's back would snap just like that.
Oh yeah.
And no, he kept it together.
Yeah.
So here's a guy that definitely was one of the best wrestlers. And not only, character-wise, but he was a constant professional, as mentioned. But
Yes.
Bret Hart definitely had one of the safest, according to him, never injured a wrestler a day in his life.
Right.
But, who really knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really good technical match.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for Mr. Perfect having a back injury and still going into the matches, that just shows you that true character of Kurt Hennig. He could have easily said, man, my back's hurting. I don't really want to do the match. I don't want to hurt myself anymore. Let's cancel the match and put it on a different show or whatever. But he's like, screw it, I'll do it anyways. And the number of back bumps he took.
Oh, I know.
With an injured back. You think I said back enough times? But yeah, that just goes to show you the true professionalism of Kurt Hennig. And I'm sure Brett and Mr. Perfect probably had a conversation before the match, and Kurt was probably like, alright, look, here's the deal. I'm gonna go through with this match. My back's fucked. Can you go easy on me or whatever? And I'm sure Brett was like, oh yeah, no problem. And the match, yeah, was spectacular. The match was great. The funny thing about it is pretty much Mr. Perfect's singlet gets ripped off of him by...
Yeah.
Then Brett wins the title and he's holding up the title while he's got the singlet over his shoulder like...
Yeah. That's the most painful looking sharpshooter I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And on a guy with a bad back.
Oh yeah. Brett could have said to him, you know, punching the sharpshooter, stay in it for as long as possible, but don't wait too long. Don't tap too quickly, but, you know, tap relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Another very, very good match that I really liked. Staying on the trend of SummerSlam 92, the Road Warriors, and talk about the Undertaker's entrance
Yeah.
being really good for SummerSlam 92. Hell, having the Road Warriors come out on the motorcycle.
Shit.
Paul Ellering and the Rocco, yeah. Money Incorporated, Erwin R. Sicer and Ted DiBiase. Yes, that was a very good match. It was for the tag titles, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, really, really good match. And you know, with the Road Warriors being this rugged, aggressive, smash mouth, in your face, straightforward, beat the holy hell out of you tag team, and then, you know, Money Incorporated being the more, like, they would beat you up, but they were very methodical about it,
Yeah.
and very meticulous with how they beat up people, and, you know, using the tag team adage of, like, having one member of the other team in the corner, and quick tags, and double teaming, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very good match with the Road Warriors and Money Incorporated.
For sure. Oh, I really enjoyed it too. And again, with the atmosphere of SummerSlam, Wembley is like the biggest stadium that I know of.
Well, it's going to be the biggest stadium in the UK.
Exactly. So I mean, and to have not only that, but you know, Live Aid '85. You've got Queen. You've got the Foo Fighters. You got a lot of cool shit happening at Wembley. You know, it's awesome. And to not have another pay-per-view in Wembley is fucking a shame.
It's a damn crying shame.
Exactly. So now we're gonna go on. We talked about Rock and Brock. We go for the same pay-per-view. We have Triple H versus Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
And you know, you want to know a good story, and I had talked to this with my brother as well. You know, you have Shawn Michaels come back after an absence. You know, and he comes back, and he wins in the pay-per-view, and I can't remember what he was doing there, but Triple H automatically came out and You know, they thought they were gonna be friends, and then you know, jump to Raw, and then you have Triple H coming over to Shawn Michaels with a box, and you know his face lights up, and then of course you know what's gonna happen. The next thing you see after a commercial break, are you ready? And Shawn Michaels and Triple H come out and got the X gear on.
Yeah.
They come out, Triple H does the whole thing, and you think he's gonna do the second thing, and he turns around and
Yeah, you think it's a DX reunion, and Triple H turns on Michaels and starts beating the crap out of him and pedigrees him. It's like, well, now.
And the disappointment that I had, you know, you look at their reunion in 2006, and you think, you know, they're a lot older. You would think that it would have worked. I'm pretty sure it would have fucking worked. And why they had to have Triple H turn heel again is fucking beyond me. But there it is. So this was a good match, you know. It was like Shawn Michaels and Triple H definitely, you know, pulled out all the stops, you know. And you had Shawn Michaels wince in pain if he got hit in the back. But, yeah, Shawn Michaels actually beat Triple H.
Yeah.
Clean. Which was interesting.
Yeah.
And, of course, you have Shawn celebrating, and here comes Triple H with a sledgehammer and hits Shawn square in the back. And Shawn goes down. And it's like, yeah, there's a bloody Triple H, and he's laughing his ass off. And I'm like, you prick. And that's what you want in a heel.
But at first he hits him in like the lower back. Shawn drops to his knees. Connor's like, you did this to yourself, or whatever it was, and then hits him again, and Shawn goes face down, and they bring out a gurney, and put Shawn on the gurney, and all this other stuff. And, Triple H being the really good heel that he was back then, and still can be at times.
Well, I remember after SummerSlam.
Yes.
And seeing Brock Lesnar coming out and talking about how he's the new WWE champion. And the youngest WWE champion at that. And of course you got Shawn Michaels' music hit, but it's really Triple H.
Yeah.
So that's just, you know, another example of a great heel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was still a good match, and it told a really good story.
Yeah.
So.
And again, another one of those things where not only was this particular match between them two very good, they had a hell of a rivalry as well against each other. This match, Hell in a Cell match.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
3 stages of hell.
Yeah.
Which I liked, and you know, they put their bodies through hell.
Oh, they tortured each other.
There's a backstage segment where they're on a stretcher, and you could see how swollen Triple H's face is. Yeah, they really, you know, people think wrestling's fake. Well, go watch that fucking match.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go with something that I thought of a while ago. SummerSlam 88? Calling it the best match? Nah, I don't know. You can pick and choose and nitpick whatever. But for a match that was actually really good, even though it was very, very quick. Ultimate Warrior and the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. That was, you know, you talk about Mr. Perfect. Now, You can debate who was the longest Intercontinental Champion, Mr.
Mhm.
Perfect or the Honky Tonk Man, but people are always going to say the Honky Tonk Man. And he won the match against Ricky Steamboat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he becomes the champion, and there's a lot of matches where, you know, somehow he won. So SummerSlam, he comes out and he's like, you know, give me someone out here to wrestle, and then
I don't have an opponent for tonight. Give somebody from the back come out here and face me for my title, and you know he's bragging, being braggadocious, and then you hear silence. Yeah, you hear silence for a little bit, and then Ultimate Warrior's music hits, and the look on Honky Tonk's face is like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Here comes Warrior right into the ring.
yeah,
Friggin', I don't even think Honky Tonk, like, I think Honky Tonk Man had maybe just given the championship to Jimmy Hart, the referee or whatever. Friggin' couple shoulder tackles, few other things, splash, 1, 2, 3, match is over. Ultimate Warrior's your new Intercontinental Champion. I was like, holy crap. Talk about fast.
you know, for somebody who basically is, you know, the longest champion, and you didn't know who was going to beat him, and then
Yeah.
have that happen. You know, I don't know whether I would have been disappointed or not because of that, but
Yeah, really.
he's the Ultimate Warrior after all, and you know, he was going to be the champion sometime. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what's pretty cool. But yeah,
And I mean, for like Honky Tonk Man being the longest Intercontinental Champion ever, and for it being, I think it was Warrior's first championship.
right.
I mean, put Ultimate Warrior over, that's fine, that's great. I'm not sure if it being a squash match was really necessary, but I mean, it was what it was.
Well, at least it wasn't as short as the one with Triple H. Oh! 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 Oh!
Yeah, see, that's why we did this. I thought we were going to do it last week, but kind of a cross and signals and whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now we go on to, yeah, it was SummerSlam 2016.
Yes.
And I just saw that match. And we have, it was probably one of the best matches that John Cena's had.
Yeah.
And so, John Cena versus a newcomer to the WWE, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Yeah, that match was incredible.
I mean, here's a guy that has been around the federations and, you know, Ring of Honor champion,
Yeah.
IWGP champion, IWGP Intercontinental champion, so on and so forth. And then this guy finally makes it into the big leagues, and I was like, fuck, you know. But yeah, these guys really put on a really good match.
Oh, absolutely.
Did I say really enough times? There was this match and another match that they were in that was, oh, maybe it was just this match. But yeah, they really pulled out all the stops.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And for John Cena being the kind of technical but very ground-based, hard-hitting style, not very high-flying. I mean, he would come off the top rope and do like a leg drop, but that's probably as athletic as Cena's ever been in his career.
Yeah.
And then, you know, AJ Styles being quite a heavy hitter himself. Don't believe me, ask Miz. And, you know, he's got a high-flying style himself. And
Yeah.
can grapple on the ground as well. They were able to match their styles well enough and have a fantastic match.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I think that if Alan had his last match today, it would be it.
It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. The guy's already been how many fucking times he was WWE champion now, and
2 or 3, I believe.
Yeah,
I
so-
believe 3.
so he's done it. You know, he's done it all basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, this
I mean,
match,
yeah. WWE champion, United States champion.
and he also beat John Cena.
His favorite hobby, beat up John Cena.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so this is gonna be part one. Well, I don't want to have this video too long.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah, this has been the best of. So stay tuned. We're gonna do now the worst of. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Aye.